Hello, Mark here at Stand Up Mod Railway with another video for you. Today's video is all about the turntable and how I motorised it. I've been wanting to motorise it for a while, so a few weeks ago or so I got a Locomotech motor for it. I ordered one for it, and it's now motorised and is working quite well. So today's video is about that, and just a quick guide on how I did it. Obviously it's not the be all and end all, and I've made some mistakes, but it should give you a rough idea of how I did it. So without further ado, we'll get on with the video. So as you can see, I've taken the turntable out of the baseboard, out of this hole in the baseboard. This is because, as I mentioned before, I want to motorise it. As you can see, also the handrails are not on the sides of it. They were on there, but I'd actually broken one. I think it was about this end. The other one was complete, but I thought it might be easier to keep this a bit flatter and to make it a bit easier for mount the turntable motor. I thought I'd gently prise the handrails off anyway, which I've done. So hopefully I can save them and glue them back on after. But as you can see, I'm going to motorise it. So what I've done for this, I've chosen the Locomotech Deluxe motorising kit for the Peco turntable. This is a Mark II version. I think this is slightly better geared and probably runs slightly slower than the standard one. Although from what I've heard, the standard one's quite good as well. So I'll just turn that over there as well. So there you can see that's the part number there for it. That's, where are we? Sorry, TTMKE. So you can order these online. Their website, I'll just show you there. Their website's at the bottom. That's www.locomotech.com. As you see, it comes in a small kit of parts. You get the assembly instructions there. The motor, which is it's quite a hefty weight of motor, so hopefully the turntable should support it. I've seen it supporting other videos, so it should be okay. So it looks like quite a good quality motor there, so it's got a nice bit of weight to it. It's metal geared as well. I think should have been pre-tested as well. There you go, yeah, been pre-tested. And obviously you get the tension arm. And you get packet parts, the white bits to put on the tension bar ends. There's a drive shaft in there, a collar because it's a coupling collar to attach to the motor, because that's a slightly different size spindle on it, and you get Allen key and a couple of glove screws as well. So what we'll do now, without further ado, is try and proceed to assemble the motor onto the turntable. So as you can see now, the turntable motor is fitted. Didn't go too badly. I did have a problem fitting the drive shaft in. I don't know if I can show you this on camera, but the drive shaft pin there into the bridge deck, I had to hammer it in, and it didn't quite go in as far as what they said. I can't remember what the measurements were, but it didn't go in quite as far, but it seems to be okay. And obviously the tension arms I had to adjust slightly as well to get them to fit just snugly, but it all appears to be okay on it. It was relatively simple. So all I need to do now is do a little test to make sure it works, and then I can install it back in the layout. Right, so as you can see, I've now connected the motor up to my old Hornby R695 controller, which I use for either on the rolling roads or just for general test purposes. So we'll come around to the turntable itself and let's see if this will work. Hopefully it will. There you go. That's one way. As you can see, it's very smooth. That's on a very low speed. I'll turn it up a bit faster. It will go faster than that. Bearing in mind the old Hornby controller is not quite so smooth as stopping and starting, but there you go. The turn's really turning it up. Obviously the motor gets noisier. That's now on the Hornby's full speed. It's going quite fast. Obviously I won't run it that fast, but just to prove it works, I'm going to slow it down. I mean, actually I think the motor's quite quiet. Obviously it's not going to help that it's on the table, so it's probably right rating through because it's a wooden table, but that's one way. So we'll click the switch and we'll just test it the other way just to make sure. Going nice and smooth, start off slow, and then we'll speed up gradually. There you go, at full speed. So yeah, some of it seems to be okay. So we'll just slow it back down again. Bring it to a stop. Just there, I think. And there you go. I mean, obviously using a Hornby isn't as smooth as the gauge master I'm going to use, but yeah, the motor itself seems quite quiet, especially at lower speeds. So hopefully it'll be well when I put it in the turntable. So that'll be the next thing, is installing the turntable back into the layout. So as you can see, the turntable has now been put back into the turntable hole that I cut out into the layout, and the wiring's been wired in. Quite simple wiring really. Obviously you've got the red and the black wires there. They're the wires to the track, so the track free wires. And there, I don't know if I can see this, is a bit woody underneath, but they're, sorry, I can point the camera up, but they're wired into this block there. And then just for the motor itself, it's a 12-volt motor, so you've just got the two connections off of there. I've used blue and pink for this, but you can use any colours you like. And they basically follow that round there and into that terminal block there, which is just a 12-volt feed. And this is also controlled by the separate controller I got for it, which is a gauge master one. So I'll just show you that in a second. So this is the new controller. It's a second-hand one, so it's not brand new, obviously, but it's a new controller to me. And it's a second-hand gauge master Series E, single output controller, which I picked up quite cheaply from eBay. Obviously there's other places you look, but this happened to come along at the right time. This controller will actually control not only the turntable, it also control the goods yard from the head shunt onwards. Obviously I've made up a bracket for it to stand on, and that's just made out of the 9mm, a couple bits of 9mm plywood like I use for baseball tops, just glued together with a wood glue, and obviously they're screwed in. So you've got 4 screws screwed in, and obviously the wires, there's a separate control chocolate block, or joining block underneath what David wired in for me. And you've just got the 2 wires there. Again, I've stuck the pink and blue to match up with the wires for the turntable feed, and that's in there. That then obviously controls either the turntable to make it obviously spin round one way or the other. But there's also, David's also reprogrammed the Arduino and changed a couple of switches on here, because we got signals outwards. So we got switch 10 now. You switch it one way or the other. This way, obviously, it's powered to the from the controller to the head shunt, so I can power the any locos for the head shunt in the goods yard from there. So in theory, I can run an engine assembly in the goods yard as well as running the trains on up platforms in and out of platforms on the main line. And obviously, if you switch it this way, it just then spins the turntable around the way depending on which way I got the direction control sent. Alright, so here we have our chosen locomotive, and this particular one is the Blackburn Southern Railway N-Class, and it's in the Southern Railway olive green livery. And the main reason choosing this locomotive was basically because it was only one of 3 I've had out. on the layout currently, because all the rest are packed away, and with coaches and wagons, because obviously alterations I've been doing to the layout, so it's all to keep it safe. And even more so, as this is a tender locomotive, I thought it would be most appropriate for turning it on a turntable, whereas the other two I've got are tank locomotives. So without further ado, we'll run her onto the turntable, and then we'll start to turn her and make sure everything's okay. Okay, so that's turned around 180 degrees. As you can see, I had a little hiccup there, and the turntable getting stuck. I don't know why, but what we'll do, we'll turn that around the other way, anti-clockwise, and then we'll have another go clockwise just to see what's going on, make sure it's okay. Could have just been turning the turntable too slow initially, or there could be something there. We'll have a look anyway. Okay, so I've had a look around the turntable and that. I couldn't see anything obviously wrong. However, I tried the turntable spin around without the loco on it, and it seemed fine. But in a couple of places, it is quite close to the edge of the well. So I presume that I'm not quite. It's not quite truly round the turntable itself, because obviously, as you can see, the Peco turntable kit, both double and engage, the well comes in several bits which you have to glue together. So I'm wondering if I didn't glue it quite properly together to make it quite round. But what I've done, see this bit here, I've actually folded down there a bit. Where it might have been a bit excess glue there, so I have to touch that up, but I've folded that down a bit to make it a bit smoother. I've just done a quick go around, it seems to be okay. So what I'll do, I'll bring the camera back now and I'll turn it around again so you can hopefully see her turn around properly now. So let's go and see, make sure she goes. And there you go, that's turned around 180 degrees. What we'll do, we'll turn her around in the opposite direction just to make sure everything's okay, and then I'll probably turn her full 360 degrees, sorry, and make sure and take her off the turntable again. And there you go, she's past that point, seems okay. So what we'll do, we'll turn it around the other 180 degrees to be the way she should, and then we'll run her off. and we didn't quite line up there, so we'll have to push her on and start again. There you go, that's much better. So as you see, she's turned around on the turntable. Alright, I've had some hiccups, but at least now cross fingers touch the old wood, which is the baseboard here, and my head. Obviously everything appears to be okay now. This seems to be a bit of teething troubles more than anything. So we'll leave that here and we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, so as you can hopefully see, we've moved on just a little bit more. The main thing I've done is weather up the turntable a bit more, and obviously stuck the fencing on, or side rails on each side. Basically I gave them a quick spray over a primer, let that dry, and then I used the rail match weather black aerosol, just quickly light coat over that, and then I used the Tamiya dark iron colour. It's a acrylic colour, sorry I can't remember which XF number it is, but it's an XF number. It's a Tamiya one, it's dark iron. Obviously let that dry, and then I've done a bit more weathering with the Hornby Smoke black weathering powder and the Vallejo Pigments carbon black powder. So I've done it over in the turntable well, up the side walls, so hopefully the camera's picking it up, and obviously a bit on the deck as well. Weather that down a bit more, and then I've given it a light coat of rust wash between the rails. I don't know if this is picking it up. I think the camera's picking it up. Let's try and turn it down the rails a bit down the side. It's quite light, slightly thicker in some places, but hopefully it's weathered it down and given it a better effect on the turntable. The only thing is, obviously, I did make up the Peco buffer stop. If you bear with me, yeah, the SL41. I did make most one of them up to go in here. You can see, you put it there, it's too big, so I'm probably gonna have to put a wall or something there. I'll have to think about that later. But other than that, yeah, it's all done. I am pretty pleased with it. It's weathered it down a bit more. I didn't want it too heavily weathered, but it's weathered it down a bit more. It looks a bit more natural now. I think we'll leave it there. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that video one and found something useful from it. As I alluded to in the video, it's a good Locomotech motor. It's a good quality motor. It's obviously the Deluxe version, but so far, cross fingers and touch the old wood, I haven't had any problems with it, or not many anyway. Obviously I've not used it much, but it appears to be okay on the whole so far. I would recommend it if you've got a Peco turntable, because it's quite smooth operation and it's quite quiet as well. So until the next time, folks, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.